How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to go through my portfolio because it's been a while since I went through it. So I'm going to show you the percentage of my portfolio in the company. And this is going to be a little bit different. Usually I go through each portfolio specifically. You can see all the numbers and everything like that. The problem with that is I have 7 different portfolios because I have old 401ks, I have a Roth IRA, I have a solo 401k, I have different brokerage accounts at different companies. And I am more than willing to do that because I know some people will probably give me a hard time. I'm just going to tell you, a lot of these are down significantly. Like the penny stocks are down significantly, but they're a small portion of my portfolio. So that's where the diversification is key. I'll walk you through each specific company. I'll walk you through my crypto investments too, and then an alternative investment. Now, right off the bat, like I said, I know I'll get some flack for this because people will say that I'm trying to hide my losses or something like that. But the 2 worst companies I've ever had, COUV and LFMD, those are down significantly. LFMD, I had more of my portfolio in, so that's what made it one of the worst ones. And then COUV went down drastically because the day after I bought it, first of all, it went up a lot the day that I bought it. I was up like 20%. And then it got attacked by the SEC the very next day. And it's kind of cleared up now, but not fully. So those are my 2 worst ones by far. But a lot of my stocks are up a significant amount if I bought them before December-ish. Because as we know, a lot of the growth stocks are down significantly since December. But hopefully you guys like this format a little bit more because I took some of my investments that are in multiple portfolios and put them in terms of my total portfolio here. So if you guys do like this, please leave a thumbs up. It does take a decent amount of time to go through 7 different portfolios and add up all the values. So thank you for hitting the thumbs up and hitting subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Also, there is a link down there to WeBull in case you want some free stocks. You can just deposit $100. So let's get into it. First company, AMC. I have 1 share because I bought it on a stream. Not really worth talking about, but it was part of the GameStop AMC thing that happened a couple months ago. I'm going to hold on to the 1 share. I'm just not going to sell it. AGTC, small company, a little bit riskier. I have a small amount, like I said, a very small amount of my portfolio, but I think it is an interesting company, just high risk, high reward. Same thing with COUV, small amount. Really, I could just go through like 3 or 4 of these right here. These are my penny stocks, give or take. Some of them, ABML, I might add more to soon because they're really a battery recycling play that's years down the line, and they've gotten hit hard recently. A lot of these are just higher risk, higher reward plays that I think could do well, but I'm not willing to put a large part of my portfolio in. Like I always say, penny stocks are a small part of my portfolio. GIXU is actually a SPAC that's not merged yet, and it's got units or part of units it is units, and it's got part of warrants, and then it's got shares too. So kind of a confusing thing if you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's a Gores SPAC. So they're the same ones that brought Matterport public. A lot of people have a very high opinion of them. So I bought them. They're sitting right around $10. FUBO, small part of my portfolio. I bought a small amount, but that was because I didn't have much cash at the time that I did this because it was early on in FUBO's trajectory. Like I've ridden it all the way up, all the way down, all the way up again, and then back down. But they're getting into an interesting value right now where I think they might actually be at a pretty good value because people aren't seeing the gambling part of them. They're talking about the streaming, they're thinking about the streaming, and the streaming isn't really profitable at this level until they have the gambling side, which is an interesting thing to think about down the line. That might be a pretty good investment. Then I have Packer, a company that I have in my dividend portfolio. It's more of a blue chip play. They pay a dividend. Also, they are looking at autonomous driving, or they're working on it, so kind of interesting. TTOO, another penny stock play, but a little bit more weighting to it. I added to it a couple times when it was actually down too. FRSX, another high risk, high reward play in the kind of autonomous driving space. Now, I've talked about all of these before in videos, I believe. Then I have ARCG here, small portion of my portfolio, but a little exposure to genomics there in a portfolio or a mutual fund. So then we have IPOE. I bought that right when they announced that they're merging with SoFi. I'm up still a good amount. I think I bought it around 12 or 13. So kind of an interesting long-term play SoFi is because they're growing pretty quickly. HOL stock, space play. And you can see I'm really well diversified here, maybe overly diversified. That's what a lot of people would think. I would assume I have about 50 different stocks here. I should cut down on some of these, and I'll tell you one that I am going to cut down on that's highly weighted. AT&T, dividend payer, dividend portfolio. Foot Locker's in the dividend portfolio. CCIV is one that I sold some of. I recouped all my initial investment because I bought under 13. I sold some of it at 50 plus, like after they announced that night, maybe half an hour after they announced this back. I sold some above 50. And I got about 15% return from my initial investment. Now I'm just holding on to the rest of it. We have Send stock, which is almost 1% of my portfolio. Obviously, it's come down a lot. VACQ, another space play. Then RAC, another automation SPAC play that's right around $10. DMTK, I'm still up a little bit on this one. This was up almost 100% for me, and then it's come down back to up just about 10 or 20% because it's another high multiple biotech stock. Now, overall, I should say my total investment portfolio is just short of 90,000, or my stock portfolio is just short of 90,000, but my crypto portfolio is about 32,000, 33,000. So between the two, it's about 120,000, and it's going to grow much quicker now because I just bought my house. So I'm going to be able to throw a lot in investments here now. Then I have Qualcomm, one that I've held on to for a very long time. Very long as in like a year plus in my Roth IRA. Planet 13, I was buying this around $1.25, my first buy, and then I bought all the way up to $4. Now it's at like $6. I have just over $1,000 in it. DKNG, DraftKings, interesting gambling play. Realty Income, it's a REIT. REITs are in an interesting spot with the pandemic, with people maybe not returning to work in the same way, but Realty Income might actually take advantage of that because there might be other companies that go under, and Realty Income is just one of the best REITs out there. MUDs, which is a swing play for me, they're merging with Tops. I'll probably sell it here in the next month or two, but it's an NFT play. It's kind of interesting. PaySafe, kind of an interesting company too, in that they are merging with a SPAC, and SPACs have just gotten hit so hard recently. But I'm planning on holding this one long term. ARK-K, about 1.4% of the portfolio. Just another index that is going to be performing really well over the long term, I think. AHAC, a SPAC that is very high multiple right now, but it's being valued pretty low, and I think their technology is really good. MP Materials, probably should add more to that. Voyager, did a video on that just yesterday. I think they're really going to take advantage of the fact that so many people want to invest in Dogecoin, and they're one of the only platforms to do that besides Robinhood. BNGO, obviously it's come down a lot, but I still hold all my initial shares of that one. IIPR, medical marijuana REIT. LifeMD got smashed hard, but I added a little bit more pretty much near the lows, and they came back a little bit the other day. STPK, great clean energy play. GNPK, one of the best space stocks out there. They're actually earning money right now, and they're kind of a conglomerate of space stocks. Then we have Teladoc, 2.4% of the portfolio, great long-term play for telehealth, I think. Facebook, CLSK, a lot of potential here. Store Capital, another REIT that I think is one of the two best REITs out there with Realty Income. Then we have Square, we have JP Morgan Chase, Tattooed Chef, Disney. I actually added a lot to Coin, so I bought a lot on IPO day. I bought 3 shares 3 different times as it kept falling. So I bought like 380, 350, 330. Now it's in at 345 overall. And then we have PLNTR, Palantir. I like that one. I've been adding a lot over the last couple of weeks. Tesla, about 4%. GHVI, which is almost 4% of my portfolio too. Matterport's in really low right now, around $12. And then we have SFTW. Now, this is the largest individual stock I have in my portfolio. The reason that I have so much in SFTW was because I bought a lot right around March when there was still ARKX on the way, and this was in around $10. So there was such an asymmetric risk reward there, and they still have months before they merge, so I didn't think it was going to fall under $10. So I picked up a lot of it. I probably will trim this position before they merge. I'll probably keep some of it though, because I think it is an interesting company that has a lot of potential, but they're still trading at very high price to sales ratios based on where they are now, because I think they're valued right around 1.1 billion and they have, I think, right around 20 million in revenue. So they're not really in favor in the current environment unless the market changes and starts valuing these companies higher again. I might trim this down because it is a large percentage of my portfolio. And then I have indexes, which are about 23% of my portfolio overall, so a good amount. Now, all these investments here, all these percentages are based on the total stock portfolio. So they don't include my crypto investments. So then we have other investments. We have Ethereum, which is about $15,000, about 13% of my overall portfolio, so stocks and these cryptos. Then I have Bitcoin, which is about 13.2, a little bit more in Bitcoin. Altcoins, which I just bought these the other day to try out Voyager, the app that I have some money invested in. I just put $50 in 8 different altcoins and then $50 in Ethereum and Bitcoin on their platform to try it out. And then I have collectible trading cards, which are about $1,300 worth, about 1% of my overall portfolio. I think this is better so you guys can actually see the weighting of the portfolio. Some of the older stocks obviously are up a lot. Some of the newer stocks I've been buying down a good amount. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I plan on buying more of the higher conviction stocks and trimming down some of these other positions as time goes on. And these are going to become smaller and smaller as time goes on because I'm going to be adding a lot of money to these portfolios. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.